Hey everybody, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Plant-Based Morning Show. We're presented by Compliment. That is lovecompliment.com. All the best vegan provisions and products and supplements. Literally anything you could buy, anything you want, a vegan product, it is available at lovecompliment.com. So go over there and grab anything from the universe of vegan products that exist. I'm adding Doug into Instagram. We'll get started. We'll find out how he's doing. Must be in a good mood because he's off on Thursday and Friday for his birthday. Much to my chagrin, you can imagine that Doug doesn't have to have a full week of work yet. He's going on like a month and a half here of no full week of work, which is amazing.
I'm trying to figure out how to keep that streak alive.
You got to figure out how to keep going. What if you could do it the whole year somehow? Just always like find one thing. That'd be great.
Throw in some sick days in there, maybe some
a little family emergency,
unforeseen childcare. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Weather might help you out here and there.
Yeah.
Any storm that comes, you're not coming to work that day because you got to
I think that's a fantastic challenge. Hey Matt, I was looking for a vegan belt. Do we sell those at Compliment?
No, but I can find you an affiliate link. If you can't find a product to Compliment, just write to me, DM me directly on Instagram, and I'll send you a link to a product.
Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, good, great. No, but Love Compliment, of course, or Compliment at lovecompliment.com has all of your essential nutrient needs, right? Your omega-3s,
yes,
your DHA, EPA, I guess that's omega-3s, your B12s, your protein, all the stuff that you need.
Yeah, right. It does. All right. Well, good morning, Garuda Legends, Anne-Marie, Britters, Sarah Slemp, Allie, S. Cook. First time joining live in months, says S. Cook. That's exciting.
Welcome back.
Kelly K, Phyllis Hauser, K-Day K, Rivercat. We haven't heard of Dale Stevens in a while. Heard from Dale Stevens in a while.
That's not true. I think
she's not lost in the woods somehow on a 17-mile run, I hope.
I hope not. She's been around, though. I've seen her chime in.
Okay. Also haven't seen Bianca in a long time, but she emailed us, and that's because we don't have Friday live shows anymore, and that's the day she can come live. But she emailed us a little story that I have included in the weather report today. Among a frenzy of plant-based products that are suddenly coming available, most of them seafood related. So anyway, we'll get into that in a bit. Doug, I don't have a really good New Year's resolution or goals yet, but Aaron and I have each been reading a book a week during this year so far.
A week?
And I think we're going to keep it up. Yeah, it wasn't really the intention. We talked about it in the beginning of the year, how we both had like wanted to read more. And we both said a book a week sounds like too much. Last year, without trying, I read a book every 2 weeks. So I said, that seems like not enough. Okay. So I said, maybe, a book every week and a half. So
every 10 days.
Yeah, might be good. But then we just kind of started off almost in a competition. So now I think I might kind of try to stick with that. She's counting audiobooks, and I've got a serious problem with that. So she has about 6 books already done, and I'm only at 3.
So what are your books so far? What are your 3 books?
They're mostly about like cryptocurrency type stuff. The trading of such currencies. Yeah. So I've been reading about that.
Like advice on how to trade the currencies?
Yeah, and like methods and frameworks and how to read the charts.
I gotta say though, I was unexpected. I mean, I know you're into it, but I was thinking nutrition or history or math or something, but no.
Yeah, those are the ones that I finished. I've started reading. Almost done with. I think it's Start With Why. Is that what it's called? Famous book. Everybody cites it all the time.
Yep.
And also a really good one called Hidden Potential by Adam. Someone can help me with his last name. I always forget the guy's last name. I'm going to look it up. Hidden Potential by Adam Grant. All about, it's the thing about, it's kind of extending the old outliers, 10,000 hour rule type stuff.
Yeah.
And how do people just achieve, tremendous success in some field? I don't know why. They're just always interesting, inspiring books to me. I don't have a field right now that I'm trying to dominate or anything like that. Cryptocurrency trading, maybe.
Yes, he sure seems like it.
But anyway, it's a really good book. I've enjoyed it so far. So I'm reading that one as well. So I've only just finished the trading books, but reading other ones that aren't
all right. I might have to look into that one. That one sounds pretty good. The Hidden Potential one.
Yeah, it's good. All right. What else? Anything else, Doug? Any birthday things we should know before we jump into our show today?
No, we can talk about birthday stuff tomorrow. I guess is the last episode.
Okay.
But I do. So I have some weekend updates. All right. I have some labeling, some food label updates,
Oh, okay. This is a
and I'm going to
segment of
share
the
my
show now.
screen
This should
here.
be a segment every day.
I'm going to
It's
share my
always
screen
food
here
labeling news. Okay.
because I actually think I might be turning a little bit of a page
You're
on my opinion
confused.
on
Consumer,
food
you got
labeling.
confused, and now you're mad at a company, and so you've changed your opinion.
So, all right, I was in Ingles over the weekend and
Ingles
doing
again.
a little shopping at my favorite grocery store, Ingles.
Yeah, right.
And there's a frozen section that has like all the Impossibles and Bocas and all the like vegan stuff,
Yep.
but right next to it is non-vegan stuff, right? And there's not a clear like differentiator between the two, right?
Okay.
And so in one of the freezers, next to, kind of at the end of the vegan stuff, was Daring, which is new to, I'm sharing my screen here, which is new to Ingles. Daring's been around for a while. I've actually gotten some Daring stuff before, and I was just struck by plant chicken with chicken spelled correctly.
Yeah.
And because it's a picture of chicken, it looks like chicken. Daring is the original, is the big word. Original is the next big word, and then plant is pretty small. I mean, you already kind of know it's chicken just by the picture.
Yep.
And so the plant
Right.
chicken, I was kind of struck. I was like, I could see somebody getting confused by that. I could honestly see somebody grabbing it and not realizing that it's plant.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if they read the word plant, they would know, right? But
I would think so. Yeah.
But if they just skipped it, which it's definitely smaller than every piece of chicken on that thing.
Uh-huh.
And Daring is big. 100% plant chicken is at the top, which is very small. Yeah.
That's very
I mean,
small.
you could in a hurry just get that.
And then, so right next to it was this that I actually found to be very exciting. I didn't buy it, but also even more confusing was this tuna avocado roll from Conscious, I guess how you say it.
Yep.
And it just says
Look
plant-based,
at that.
pretty small above it, right?
Right. That's really small.
And
just yeah.
and
So
I
that
mean,
was
it
at
does,
Ingles? They had that product?
yeah, they had this at Ingles, and it doesn't even say
Wow.
like super green mayo. I mean, it doesn't say anywhere. I mean, I guess it says vegan, like, the little symbol down there, but plant-based is really small and kind of hidden within all the splashy things that are happening there. I could definitely see people mixing that up.
Yeah, right. So you're taking the other side now.
I'm not taking the side
in the shoes
officially.
of
I'm
an
just
omnivore.
saying, maybe like it's not about the words, it's about how it's presented. Maybe. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just throwing it out there that I find I was struck by both of those.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, obviously, well, it's surprising to me, I guess, that the plant-based companies are wanting to downplay the plant-based as much as they are. Like, you'd think they're just not trying to accidentally get omnivores to buy this. I don't think. They probably just want vegans to get it, or people who want plant-based food. So I'm surprised that it's not more prominent. But I don't know. I'm surprised they even have plant-based fish at Ingles already. That's kind of exciting.
I know. That got me excited. So then I went into the canned seafood aisle to see if there was any of the new canned stuff that everybody's talking about, and I couldn't find anything. So
that's what you got excited. So that's what you did. You went to the canned seafood aisle.
I really want some vegan tuna or any of this stuff. I don't know. There's a bunch of them that are happening right
funny
now.
That I was never a big fish eater, but certainly not a canned tuna fish eater. I don't know.
I'm just so intrigued by it. I'm so intrigued by it.
The other stuff is intriguing. I'm still curious. I haven't really tried much of it at all, but
I've got one more Ingles update.
Okay. Good.
Just Egg, the liquid Just Egg is officially gone from the shelves. Like, they've removed the space. There for several weeks, it was on the space, and it is officially gone. You can get the frozen, like, pre-cooked patty things, but not the liquid. So that made me then finally buy the mung beans and the black salt and do all the stuff to cook it myself. And I attempted to do that on Sunday for brunch.
Really?
Yeah. And I was really excited about it. Like Katie was like, you need to calm down, because you had to soak the beans, the mung beans and stuff. And
I didn't even know you could do it at home like that.
Well, there's plenty of recipes that tell you how to do it. And I got all the stuff and I soaked and I was just like talking it up with the girls, and had them like blend it and make it with me. It did not come out right at all.
No.
It was so bad. I mean, it tasted fine, but it was just like a bean spread. Basically, it wasn't the fluffy egg stuff that was even, and it was, I used a minimalist baker recipe, and typically our stuff is pretty good. And reliable, I guess, but but yeah, it was very disappointing.
Oh,
the kids didn't touch it.
Garbanzo flour makes very eggy things. You should try a recipe with that, and it's much simpler. You just mix it with a little bit of water, and then like you literally have your omelet type thing. And especially if you got that black salt, that would be very eggy. Aaron got me some salts for Christmas, and one of them is that. I don't Kala Namak or something. I don't know what the name is, but it's some I think it's an Indian name. Anyway, we tasted it, and like the kids, they do not put that in anything that I eat, because they just thought it was the worst smelling sulfuric stuff, and it's terrible.
It smells really bad when you open it up the bag. I mean, you're like, or mine came in a little pouch. It was so gross smelling.
It smells like hard-boiled rotten egg. But you used it, and did the stuff taste?
I used it, yeah. And if if I followed the recipe from Minimalist Baker, and yeah, it didn't. I mean, it had a little bit of an eggy flavor, which is what you would expect, but it wasn't overpowering at all. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, good to know. Give the garbanzo thing a try. You really should. I'd like to know how that turns out. Vegan Stallion says daring is really good. Can't believe how much it actually tastes like chicken. I only wish it didn't contain so much sodium. My kids, and kind of me too, we don't really eat the dairy anymore. We got it twice, and they wouldn't really keep eating it after we got it the second time. They didn't like it. Doesn't mean it doesn't taste like chicken. It's just they don't know what chicken tastes like. So I guess they probably wouldn't like real chicken either. But they won't finish the dairy, so we don't buy it anymore. Did you buy it, or you just?
No, I didn't buy either of them. No.
Okay. Yeah, it is very chicken-like compared to the others. Jeff Hudnall's here working from home today, so able to jump on the live. I didn't know Jeff Hudnall work prohibits him coming. That's bad. You gotta get out of that job, Jeff.
Yeah.
I got some crypto books I can get you, and you could. All right. Garuda Legend says that labeling helps no one, and I think that's really true. I think it's a good point, and it's good to see it in the wild like that. And see Doug take a side that is not one that is consistent with his own beliefs and lifestyle. It's not the typical Doug I know and love. So anyway, all right. Bridger says black salt is the best. Smells terrible. It makes a lovely egg taste. Dale Stevens is there. She probably doesn't know she was mentioned a few minutes ago. I think maybe she was lost in the woods. And Vegan Stallion's new to the channel. Nice to see Garuda still haunting the vegan scene. The Garuda story just gets layers and layers of interest to me. So Garuda's been around before, I guess, doing this on other vegan things. Fascinating.
Haunting the vegan scene. All right, I want to hear more about this.
Please tell us more about your history. All right. Bridger says I'm currently working while working supposedly. And Aaron Jenkins said, "Good morning, everyone." All right, good. Good morning, everyone. Fun show today. I'm glad everyone has made it. Whoops. Hey, look at that. I hit the wrong button, and now you know what kind of songs I have on here that I don't.
What song is that? I'm into it.
It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. Whoops. It is not Friday. You know this? This is a great video.
No, I don't know.
Julia used to put it in our Slack channel.
Yeah, you have to. This is great.
Anyway, all right, let's get to the show. Let's get to the actual content here before this goes too far off the rails. I got a normal weather report that's kind of short, but then like a lightning round where just a whole bunch of vegan, basically fish products are coming out. So we'll get to those. All right, here we go. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Heather Mills, who was the ex-wife, I think, of Paul McCartney, and her V-Bites brand was going under. That triggered the typical, especially UK media, to write about how bad vegan food is and how it's all collapsing and all that. But anyway, she has struck a £1 million rescue deal for her food business.
Right.
She accused meat industry of gaslighting and triggering a decline in sales. So she blamed that. I thought it was cost of living crisis that was blamed before, but now she's blaming that. I can't quite figure it out. It sort of sounds like she just put her own money in here. If all it took was £1 million to save this thing, I mean, she was Paul McCartney's ex-wife. Doesn't she have like 100 billion pounds stashed away somewhere? I would think. I couldn't find details on like who stepped up to buy the company or what. So I gotta think she's paid for it herself, but I don't really know. But it's back. So just like a lot of things that seem like they're headed for bankruptcy or something, like we saw with Meatless Farm, I think. This one's back, not done yet. And the other kind of big normal story is that Baltimore, Maryland has become the first city in the U.S. to declare January as the official month of Veganuary. Many people have already done this, but no city, I guess, ever had. And now requested by the Black Veg Society and Veganuary with support from Default Veg, Mayor Brandon M. Scott has officially announced with a proclamation that January is Veganuary. Doug, can you do something similar in Black Mountain? Do you have that kind of power to proclaim months and things?
I could certainly put it before the council for sure.
You don't have unilateral power, though?
I don't have unilateral
sort of thing.
No, no, I do not. But it made me think like maybe we should do this too. I mean, there's nothing, what's wrong with that? Or like what, people.
I mean, who really is harmed when you declare something an official month, right? Like,
no, nobody, right? I mean, it doesn't force you to change anything or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. Maybe local farmers would be upset who have cows and things. They may not like.
We have any cow farms in Black Mountain, so.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So that's kind of cool that it's happening in any kind of city. All right, and here are the things that are new food technology things. These I think all came from Veg Economist all at once. But I was just struck. It's like it's happening suddenly. First of all, I predicted at the end of last year, one of my calls for 2023 was that by the end of the year we'd have a cheese product on the market that was just blew all the others away, plant-based cheese, and we said this is the new thing. All the other ones are terrible. Now this is basically the same as cheese. Well, a company called Pure Chore, which sounds like torture a little bit, I guess. Pure and Tor. I don't know what that name means. They've partnered with Namyang Dairy Products, one of South Korea's largest dairy manufacturers, and what they've done. So that's traditional, regular dairy manufacturers they've partnered with. The dairy giant will now use Pure Chore's plant-based casein to develop new plant-based dairy range. Namyang is in 21 countries. I don't know if they're in the U.S. or not. But they make milk, yogurt, cheese, cream, and butter. Pure Chore claims this is the world's first non-GMO plant-based casein, yeast-derived, precision fermentation, and no additives, emulsifiers, binders. And they say with these capabilities, they want to displace 30 to 40% of the current market share of dairy. I mean, wouldn't that be like the biggest company in the world if they did that?
Yeah, probably 30 to 40% of the current market share of dairy. Not just plant-based dairy.
Right. No, just dairy. But
dairy.
I mean, I can't imagine them doing that. But
if they gotta get it on this Pure Chore. I need to become an investor. I can't even say it. Right? Yeah. Pure Chore.
It's a very weird name. I don't know why they named that. Yeah. So anyway, the theme recently has been, okay, that's exciting that you were announcing that. Now go ahead and do it. So I'd love to see them actually displace 40% of the dairy industry. But if they do, I'll be happy, if only because I was right about something. All right, here are the other quick ones. This is the one Bianca sent us that Stakeholder Foods, who does a lot of interesting stuff, they have they have unveiled what claims to be the world's first plant-based 3D printed shrimp. I'm kind of surprised by that. I figured people had already been 3D printing shrimps for a long time now. But no, this is the first one.
Maybe little plastic ones.
Maybe. My music has stopped working. I don't know why. There we go. Next up, 4C Foods. That's FORSEA. See what they did there, Doug? Kind of like 4C, but it was 4C. A cultivated seafood startup from Israel has unveiled what they claim to be the world's first cultivated eel prototype. We were just talking about plant-based eel. I don't know if we were talking about cultivated or not. But even in Japan, where it's not yet legal to sell and have this stuff, they have made prototypes and tasted them in secret, I guess. So that's coming. NH Foods, also known as a Nippon Ham, it's a ham manufacturer in Japan. They're developing a plant-based tuna sashimi for food service. And Aldi UK has expanded their plant-based menu by launching plant-based smoked salmon slices and a very large selection of vegan cheese. Apparently, they say their largest ever vegan cheese range, which includes sliced grated and block cheddar and a bunch of different flavors, mozzarella, camembert, Greek-style salad cheese, all kinds of cheeses coming to Aldi. And the last thing I got is sort of a random one. There's a company called Harkin Sweets that is making better for you candy. They're using dates instead of sugar, maybe not entirely instead, but mostly instead, to reduce the sugar content by 75% in, they've got the gooey one, it's called, which is like a Milky Way, and the nutty one, which is like a Snickers. And I saw the inside of these bars. I saw pictures of the cross sections of these bars, and they look just like a Milky Way and Snickers did. So that's kind of cool.
I kind of like the naming, the nutty one and the gooey one.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a Friends. Remember how the Friends named all their episodes about one, like the one with whatever or the something one?
Oh, really? Did they do that?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I mean, a 75% sugar reduction is pretty amazing. I'm surprised that they could do that. I'm actually curious to taste how that thing would taste.
Yeah.
It's not yet nationally available. You can get it in some pop-ups in New York and New Jersey. You can order from the store or from the website themselves. It's called Harkin Food if you're interested. But plans for a national launch are set for the second quarter of this year.
Very
so cool. There you go. There's your weather report. Lots of happening.
I think the news out of that weather report is that Israel continues to be at the front of cultivated meat.
You're right. They do because they cultivated beef last week, and what do they have now?
Shrimp?
Well,
is shrimp
that's
and
not
eel?
cultivated. That's just printed.
Oh.
But that's okay. But 4C Foods, you're right. That did not dawn on me. That 4C Foods is also from Israel, and they've got the cultivated eel prototype.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well.
Do people in Israel want the cultivated eel, though? It seems like that'd be more of a Japanese thing.
I don't know.
I mean, based on the article, it sounded like they were testing in Japan. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, I mean, a ton of plant-based seafood. It's just a boom all of a sudden, it seems like. Or at least it's being developed as if it's a boom. We'll see if anybody buys it. Maybe if they can trick enough people into thinking it's the real thing, then people will buy it.
Yes.
All right, Doug. Turning attention to the articles of the day. Actually, let's see if anyone's got anything good here. Leslie Knight. I think Leslie Knight's the runner. I don't know who the runner is anymore. Dale Stevens and Leslie Knight. Please tell us who runs. I think it's Leslie.
Yeah, I think Leslie's
anyway, she was watching the episode of The Crown when Diana dies.
Oh.
I don't know what any of that means. All right. A lot of good things. Vegan Science says they've had so many good vegan cheeses now. The idea that vegan cheese sucks has persisted, and I even hear vegans saying it though. Yeah, I definitely say that. I say that all the time. That's one of my platforms. Basically that. Like I think vegan cheese is terrible. So I would love to hear some good counter examples. I know there are some good artisan ones, but I mean, in a bag, mozzarella put on my pizza or whatever.
Your what do you call it? Shredded cheese, your sliced cheese.
Yeah, right.
That's the problem.
Yes. All right. And Britters, I missed this one. She says that Arizona passed the bill yesterday that requires the proper labeling of animal versus lab. Now it goes to the state. We mentioned that one was on the table last week. Good. Okay. Good. Well, I like when the audience does the news for us. That would cut down on prep time tremendously if everyone could bring one story to the show.
We just showed up and everybody just contributed.
If we could share the Google Doc with everyone could put one little bit in there, and then it'd be way easier.
Yeah.
All right. This is a good one. I mean, kind of. It gets a little long, but it's from boredpanda.com. The headline is Vegan Bride Uninvites All Meat Eaters, goes viral for all the wrong reasons. And it's what it sounds like. It's here's what the bride posted on Vegan Revolution, which I guess is a Facebook page. She says, hold on, this is just for some context. Yeah, okay. So she said, some family members were told they are not invited to my wedding because we don't want to host murderers at our wedding, which is supposed to be one of the happiest days of our lives. I really like the use of the passive. Some family members were told this, that she doesn't really own that she's the one who told them that. Or I don't know if she was the one who told them that, but they were told this, and apparently not on any fault of her own. Somehow they were told they were not invited to her wedding. because we don't want to host murderers at our wedding, which is supposed to be one of the happiest days of our lives. So the family has posted many Facebook posts about that. One says, "What's the most effed up thing you've ever experienced? I just got uninvited to a wedding that I was meant to be bridesmaid for because I'm not vegan. To make matters worse, this girl's family, who I've grown up with my whole life, they said making the wedding completely vegan, including the guest list. Her own mother can't even go. Being vegan is more important than family. She tried the whole best wishes to you with all that blood on your hands." So anyway, she does she clarifies later that they've consistently attacked her and her partner for being vegan. When it comes to the wedding, though, they want to be all buddy again. When she broke the news to them, all she got was attacked because I don't want the weight of having people that still kill animals, the very beings we are trying to protect, at my wedding, on my conscience. Anyway, people keep chiming in. I don't know where this is all coming from, but they're saying they never attacked her. They supported her, but she just decided she didn't want them at her wedding because they're not vegan. So I don't know, Doug. What do you think about this? You didn't exclude meat eaters from coming to your wedding, even though you had a vegetarian. At least, was it vegetarian or vegan? I don't remember.
It was vegetarian because we were vegetarian at the time.
Okay. Did you consider non-inviting non-vegans or non-vegetarians?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, if nothing else, just to save money, because there would have been only like 5 people there, so would have been pretty great.
You're trying to save money.
I mean, this is wild. This is a wild story. I gotta admit, I honestly thought it was fake. Like, I was like, there's no way.
I did too.
No way that someone would uninvite all non-vegans from their wedding because they're quote unquote murderers. I didn't believe that it would. I don't know. Like, does that mean you don't associate with anyone who's like, we get coffee with somebody who's a murderer?
Yeah, because that's not supposed to be the happiest day of your life. They just can't taint the happiest day of your life. They can taint normal days, I think.
But I mean, wouldn't like not having your mom there? I mean, I guess it depends on that relationship, of course. But or like, if someone is a good enough friend that they were going to be a bridesmaid, and not having them there, like the people that are going to be left, might be searching for some random vegans to come fill some seats. I don't know. I thought it was fake, but there were so many comments and stuff that, and she responded and stuff like that and dug her heels in. So maybe it's not.
That was my thought process as well. I thought it was fake. And then I just saw the number of different comments in different formats and things. And I was like, this seems pretty real.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently she also kind of left the family when she's only 20 years old now. She sort of left the family, went away, and then everyone kind of thought that was excited, according to one of the family members, excited that they all got invites to the wedding. So they're like, wow, like she's kind of letting us back into her lives. And then she turned around and disinvited them all. So maybe she's just not that stable to begin with and kind of likes these fights. And I guess in this moment, maybe was feeling particularly passionate about veganism because then she went and bragged about it to the vegan revolution.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine doing this. But
I mean, a couple wrong things. I mean, I think you're probably right. There's probably more going on than we can understand through some Facebook comments. But like, why would you invite them and then uninvite them? Right? I mean, if you just wanted to have a vegan wedding, you would just reach out to your vegan friends, make it small or whatever. And then just share people that you got married, right? Instead of inviting them and then uninviting them. That seems pretty wild to me. And also, I mean, she says that they were attacking her, but I gotta say, like, if you're the kind of person who's gonna do this, if you're the kind of vegan or anybody, that's not just vegan, but any sort of person who has a firm belief or is passionate about something, and that you're excluding them because they're not doing what you want them to do, then my guess is that they weren't attacking her as much as just trying to defend themselves or trying to respond accordingly. If that makes sense. Right. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, I mean, it does. I was half listening because I got distracted by something else in the comments.
Yeah,
but,
I can tell.
Yeah. I mean, what else?
Yeah, I don't know. A wild story. We're
not gonna come to any rational conclusion, right? There's a wacky situation. I can't say that I condone this kind of behavior on the part of vegans. I must take a stand here. I like to not usually take a stand. I like to go in the middle and say, well, I can sort of see why.
That's not true. This isn't stuff good all the time.
No, I don't. I don't take any stand. I'm spineless. I like to always keep options open.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't support this one. I don't think this is good. Even if you're not helping the vegan movement when you do this. You're making it way worse.
Oh, yeah,
because
definitely.
it just makes people hate us.
Mhm.
So don't do this kind of thing. All right, what I was distracted by was that Vegan Stallion, who I like Vegan Stallion in the audience because they're giving interesting things. They said I was using a cultured whey protein until the company went out of business recently. It was actual whey protein created by microfloral fermentation, same as what they use to make Brave Robot ice cream. And I thought, well, I've supported a vegan whey protein company before, and I looked it up. Sure enough, Californiaperformance.co is they're gone. On the website it says it's tough to say goodbye.
Oh, wow.
We'll review all our options, but it's a buy for now. Yeah, I still have like 2 or 3 bags. I was a subscriber, and I stopped because I got afraid of it. I started to think, well, I don't know about this. It's just not. It's fine. I'm not opposed to the precision fermentation by any means, but I think we know little enough about the long-term impact of it that I don't want to be an everyday food. So I said I don't need to. We'll finish these. So I gave it to Holden. He eats it now. I figure he's younger, body can handle more. So he's polishing it off. And actually, I just saw yesterday he had one of the bags out. But they're done now. So I'll have to investigate why. I hope it's not health concerns that
yeah, it turns out people were dying. No,
right.
I have a bag of it, and I got all excited about it, and then you because you had been talking about it, and
and I got scared of it,
and then you got scared of it, and then it made me scared of it, so I quit using it. But
yeah, so I don't know. Maybe lots of people are in the same boat as I am, and just not worried about it. I don't know. It was pretty competitively priced, and maybe they were not charging enough. I think that was that comment from Vegan Stallion, I think was in response to Garuda Legend saying that anything lab created is bad. Nothing from a lab is healthy. I think referring there to cultivated meat. In this case, this isn't cultivated. This is just Vegan Stallion calls it a cultured whey protein. I don't think it's cultured whey protein in the definition we use, cultured, because that is not approved, I don't think, for sale in the US. But precision fermentation, a little different. And still kind of lab created, in my opinion, but not lab grown, really. So anyway, we'll have to investigate further that situation.
All right, so going back to the story, we have some comments on that one too. Britter says, "Dang, I would have only had 2 people out of 75 at my wedding if I had done that." I mean, that's the same here. And
you would have had like $30,000 then to invest in cryptocurrencies or things you could.
I could be broke right now. I mean, I could have lost it through the epic biggest party of my life, or I could have lost it, in crypto.
Right, exactly. A couple times you would have lost it in crypto by now.
Yeah, lost it and then got it back and then lost it again. Or Kate Rivercat sounds like she didn't get along with her family in the first place. Yeah, I think that's probably more. Yeah. More of what's going on there.
Yeah, I think so. Carmen Petty has shown up late. Good morning. It's been a while live. That's good. Good to see Carmen Petty again. A lot of people showing up today. Good to see everyone. Okay. And there remains a comment going on, a thread about an argument in there about vegan cheeses and things, which is good to see. Okay. On to the next story. Yeah, please keep that going. The other story we got today, this is kind of I don't know what to feel about this one. I hate the Veg News headline. There's a bonkers debate about potatoes not being vegetables. Countless health studies say otherwise. So you read that, and right away I'm like, okay, Veg News apparently really cares about potatoes not being classified as vegetables. They do not want to lose a vegetable, I guess, from our allies or whatever. I don't like headlines that just, like I said, I don't like taking a stand. Let's just be transparent. Let's say there's a debate about potatoes not being vegetables, and then studies are mixed or whatever. But this is all going to go one way. You can tell from the headline. Anyway, I'm actually grateful to learn about this because I didn't hear about it anywhere else. But the U.S. Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee is contemplating whether potatoes should still be considered a vegetable in the upcoming 2025 to 2030 dietary guidelines for Americans. Currently, says this Veg News article, they are recognized as part of the starchy vegetables category and recommend Americans aged 2 and older consume 5 cup equivalents per week. I don't know if that's of potatoes or of starchy vegetables.
I think probably that's starchy vegetables. Yeah.
Okay. But if the committee proceeds here and they do, take potatoes out of the vegetable category, it sounds like they'd be in the rice and other carbohydrates category rather than being classified as a vegetable. And so Veg News is upset about that. They don't think that's good. I think the reason they don't want that is because they say potatoes are actually healthier than those other things, than other starchy or than other carbohydrates like rice.
There are lots of health benefits to potatoes. And I guess that they're afraid that that's now labeling it as unhealthy.
But don't you think brown rice, aside from the arsenic contamination, is I just think of that as a bunch of, they're seeds, right? Isn't rice, is rice not a seed? Maybe it's not.
I don't know.
It's not like it's just pure carbohydrate. There's good stuff in there. And so in my mind, and I not from looking at the data or the actual nutrient composition of these things, in my mind, I think potatoes are about the same as that. I think it's okay, a lot of starch, a lot of carbohydrate, some vitamins and minerals and things. And I sort of put rice in the exact same category. So to me, this just seems like no big deal. I don't care where potatoes go. But Veg News, or at least the author here, really does.
I mean, it's striking to think that it wouldn't be a vegetable because it's the vegetable, right? How do you change the classification of something like that when it is
right?
I mean, it checks all the boxes. I mean, humans aren't mammals anymore or whatever, it checks all the boxes, right? You can put us in different box. You can put potatoes in different box, but it is what it is. I think that's the part that gives me a little bit of pause, but why I think they're doing it, and someone else points this out as well. Who did I see? Vegan Stallion, is that, if a school has to serve so many vegetables per week, right? Or the plate has to be, have so many vegetables, and all those vegetables are French fries or tater tots or things like that. If you remove it from being a vegetable and now it's a starch, then you have to replace that vegetable with something that is probably going to be a lot healthier than fried potatoes. And I think that's a really good thing,
I do too. I think so too. I think if we can get fries away, not counting as vegetable, that sounds like a big win as far as nutrition recommendations go. So I think I'm on the side of this. Now, the only exception here is if someone proves to me that those fries as a vegetable have comparable nutrients as all the other vegetables or most of the other vegetables, then I'd say, I guess it's not great that they're fried, but if the potatoes contributing lots of good things the vegetables do, then I'm okay with fries, I guess. But yeah, I think you make a good point here. I mean, on one hand, it doesn't seem like, what do we care about biological classification? They're not going to stop being a vegetable for a biologist, but for nutrition reasons, if it makes sense to put them with the other group, then that sounds good. But then I think if that happens, then we stop just in the extreme. If we take this thread and keep pulling on it, one day we could be in a world where all the nutrition guidelines is just how much carbohydrate, how much protein, how much stuff. And then we can get away from whole foods entirely, or we just have a bunch of groups. We don't have groups. We don't have eat your vegetables anymore. It's more just get your vitamin A source over here and get your vitamin C from this. It just seems weird to me. It's nice. We do have this sort of natural classification that works well enough. So once we start messing with it, I don't love that because it just could go down a bad road.
Yeah.
So, and I don't expect that to happen. It's not I think just because we move potatoes over that suddenly everything is blown up. But I don't know. I just trying to come up with a side here. Yeah. But for practical purposes, for what you said, the school one, and also people planning their meals, and I guess there are people who just follow the government guidelines and say this must be healthy if the government says it is, and we're going to eat this way in our family. For those people, it probably means less French fries, and I don't know, it's probably good if you put something green on there instead of the potato. Probably going to be better health choices made.
Or I mean, even a sweet potato. I mean, maybe sweet potatoes are continued to be.
Yeah, I would think they would keep staying a vegetable. They have much more nutrition, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think of them as having that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm actually kind of in favor of this, from the nutritional guideline standpoint, moving it away as being classified as a vegetable. Obviously, biologically, it's a vegetable. And but I think it kind of makes sense. I think to treat it on your plate as more of a starch than a vegetable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd have to really look at these studies and things and try to form an opinion, which I'm not going to do. But you can definitely you can ruin rice and make it become just a pure, like if you turn the brown rice into white rice. Not that white rice is like shown to be that unhealthy, because they've eaten it in Asian countries for a long, long time and with good health generally. But like you can sort of bastardize it in that way and turn it into this thing that is much less valuable, much less nutrition, much more carbohydrate. I don't know if you can do that with potatoes, right? They're just potatoes. Like you can fry them. Obviously, you can turn them into potato chips, where it's just much less potato and much more oil as far as calories go.
Right.
But it's still kind of a whole vegetable that you're eating when you eat potato. Like any one bite of a potato is the same as eating all the potato, right? It's all the same. I don't think people strip the fiber away from the potato too often.
That's true.
So in that way, like it does seem a little more like a vegetable in that way, that it's like its own kind of contained thing.
And I mean, like baked potatoes, that could be a healthy meal. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, Doug, don't forget, they're currently starchy vegetables. So we're talking about replacing them with broccoli or something, but that's not really fair. We need to know what the other starchy vegetables are in the category.
Yeah, what are other starchy vegetables?
I thought just potato. That's all there is. I mean, you got like yucca root.
All right, corn. This is a list from WebMD. No idea how accurate it is. Beets, green peas, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, corn, acorn squash, butternut squash, turnips.
There you go. Okay, so those are all starchy starchy vegetables. Most of those people don't eat. When you talk about the masses, right? People aren't really eating winter squash too much. Peas and corn, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like corn out of a giant can is classic lunchroom.
Yeah, right.
Addition.
Okay, so then this changes my mind a little bit.
Okay.
Because to me, if you eat some corn out of a can, I don't feel like that's that much healthier than potatoes.
Leslie Knight says corn is a grain.
I think of it as like a grain, and I think it might be classified as such by in some place. Obviously not here, but yeah.
Oh, here we go. Okay. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, corn is considered either a grain or a vegetable based on when it is harvested.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. What about when I make popcorn?
Corn that is harvested when fully mature and dry is considered a grain. So probably the corn that we're eating is a grain, not a vegetable.
Right.
Right.
That's probably right. I have a good corn story. I went to the movies this
Corn with a K?
No, not Jonathan Davis and all those guys. But I went to the movies. I saw Migration with my daughter.
We watched it the other day too. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you like it? I thought it was okay, but not great.
Well, tell your story and then we'll talk about it. Yeah.
So we got popcorn, and I assume that the movie. I think I've heard movie theater popcorn is vegan. So I did ask the woman. I said, "Is the butter like fake or is it real butter on there?" Because Ellie wanted the butter stuff on the popcorn, and she said, "No, I'm pretty sure it's fake." So that was good enough for me because I'm pretty sure it is. So we got that. This is actually making me wonder something now. We got that, and then we went into the theater. I said, "We're not getting Twizzlers. We're not doing that. We're just doing this." But we got there. I was like, "How often do I go to the movies with my daughter?" So we were sitting in the movie, and I said, "You know what? Before it starts, here's $5. If you want to go back and get the Twizzlers, go do that. I'm not moving, but you can go get it and come back here." And so she did. And then we're eating this popcorn, and I'm finding myself eating it hand over fist because I make popcorn now and then at home, and I like it much better than this movie popcorn was. But the movie popcorn, I just couldn't stop eating it. Like I was like, this is not as good as what I have at home. I don't like it as much. It's too intensely flavored, but I can't stop. And so I had to make myself stop. Ellie didn't stop. And she also kept eating the Twizzlers. And I said, I have a friend who, when I was a kid, I think we saw A League of Their Own, and he ate Twizzlers the whole time. And when we got back to my house, he vomited them up in the street. And so she was undeterred, kept eating the popcorn and the Twizzlers. We got home, she threw up in the toilet, not in the street. And it was gross. So that happened. And I meant to tell that story earlier. But then we decided we're doing some kind of, for her, junk food challenge or something we're going to start in this house because she just eats too many sweets and junk.
Yeah.
And doesn't have.
I mean, what do you think it was that made her sick?
Well, now that I said the story, it didn't occur to me that maybe the popcorn butter stuff might have been actually dairy. And maybe that's what made her sick. I just assumed it was the Twizzlers because I've now known two people who threw up after eating Twizzlers at movies.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna
so we
look
had
that up.
popcorn and we had the butter, and they told us it was vegan. The one we went to.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think anything of it. We also downed it, but I don't know. We didn't get that big of a box, so it was gone halfway through the movie. But so
well, halfway is pretty good. Usually it's gone before the movie. And that really, generally in my experience, that's what happened.
You know what? This was like a proud dad moment. So I took the girls. Katie had something going on. I was trying to find something to do, like go to a movie. We never go to a movie theater. Never happens. Like that'll be fun. Got popcorn. This proud dad moment was that I thought ahead and brought some Ziploc bags to divide the popcorn into, so we weren't all like grabbing into the same box.
That's good.
And it worked. It worked beautifully. And so I divided it up 3 ways. They kind of ate at a different pace. Didn't have to worry about running out, like one person getting too much.
Yep.
Beautiful moment.
Very nice. Way to go. All right. So it appears to me that movie theater popcorn in general is vegan. It's possible that it wasn't. Like, it's not like every single movie theater has exactly the same thing, but generally AMC, Regal Entertainment, those both use coconut oil to pop it. And I think the stuff is butter flavored oil, but it's also vegan, I believe. Don't take my word for it. But I don't think that was the problem.
At the AMC that I went to, they told me it was vegan.
Okay. There you go. So what do you think of Migration?
So I thought the movie was fine. Like, I'm not going to go watch it again. It wasn't one of those that's going to be an instant classic on the Pixar level, right?
No.
But I did, it was kind of a vegan movie. It was a vegan forward movie, which was unexpected.
Right. We didn't even talk about that.
The protagonist was a chef who was killing chicken. The antagonist was was a chef who was raising ducks and killing the ducks, and it was all about kind of saving these ducks from being murdered to be put on a plate. And I mean, that was kind of unexpected, but it really resonated with my kids. And we talked about it all the way home. They wanted to talk about it.
It's funny. We didn't mention that at all to each other, but of course, you're right. It was a vegan-ish kind of movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but it was okay. All right. I was going to tell another story about food labeling. I bought wine at the grocery store the other day, and it accidentally was alcohol-free wine. So I was not happy when I got home. Spanish, and it was called Tres Ceros, and it was like, so I was like, okay, this is good. Tempranillo, wonderful. And it was at that place, Super G Mart, where they have all the ethnic food. So I was just surprised to find this wine. Got home and saw that the 3 zeros, the Tres Ceros meant 0.00 alcohol.
Was it any good? Did you try it?
No, I mean, I had a sip of it. It tasted like grape juice.
Okay.
And I had the kids have a little bit, and then we got rid of it. All right, so there you go. All right, Vegan Stallion and Garuda Legends is his own little subplot here. Vegan Stallion is like the Garuda Legends of vegan stuff, I think, and Garuda Legends is the Garuda Legends of omnivorous things. Who's a fan of our show and a fan of the way we do veganism? I like that. Vegan Stallion, I guess, says that Garuda Legends is a veritable fount of misinformation. It's pretty remarkable.
Wow.
So there's a nice little fight brewing.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. Anyway, please keep coming back to the show, Vegan Stallion and Garuda Legends and everybody else. Yeah, smash that like button. Good turnout today. I like to see it on YouTube. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for lots and lots of comments. Lucy B says the starch solution would disagree about these starchy foods being unhealthy. That's a good point. McDougal, I don't think he cares whether they're vegetables or what they're classified as. He just says they're healthy. And he might be right. I don't know. I think if you go on a full starch diet and very low fat, I think you can lose weight for sure.
Mr. Jeffrey says, hold on. This is back to the potato. As a chef, we use potatoes like starches when plating meals, rice and potatoes, etc. We aren't building plates around potatoes as the vegetable.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the way things taste, it definitely fits in more the starch category than the vegetable, the green vegetable category. But that's true of all the starchy vegetables, I think. Maybe corn would be an exception. You might think of that as the vegetable part of the plate, but generally that's the starchy stuff. All right. Vegan Science says Garuda Legends is a notorious troll, and we aren't aware. So that's what they were referring to at the beginning But be that as it may, Guru Legends has been nothing but a good fan of this show.
We don't
I
always
actually
agree,
appreciate.
but
No,
we'll
we don't disagree, and neither Guru Legends, as I say, they mix it up in there. They stir the pot, and I think it's good. I think it's good for the show. Anyway, there you go. There's your show. Interesting show today. Long show today for a Tuesday. But thanks everyone for attending. We'll be back tomorrow. Doug will still be with us tomorrow.
That's right.
Thursday, he will not. We will have another someone else hosting. I haven't yet nailed down who that person will be. Hopefully, it will Matt or Isabel, who are involved in the other shows. Oh yeah, they both have said either one of them could do it. So yeah, so it will not be Doug. It will be someone else. But tomorrow will be normal. So there we go. Anything else, Doug? Any closing words 2 days before your birthday begins? When's your birthday day, actually?
Saturday.
Okay. So you could have just waited till the weekend to celebrate your birthday if you wanted.
Yeah, I could have, but but then I would have had a full week of work, and I don't work 5 days. That's just not how it goes.
Right. Good. All right. Well, I do like that attitude. All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for coming.
Yes, absolutely.